Jackie again, and I'm reading the second chapter of the Julian chapter, and this chapter is titled The Call. I remember Mom made a big deal about the call we got from Mr. Tushman. At dinner that night, she went on and on about what a big honor it was. The middle school director had called us at home to ask if I could be a welcome buddy to some new kid in school. Wow. Big news. Mom acted like I won an Oscar or something. She said it showed her that the school really did recognize who the special kids were, which she thought was awesome. Mom had never met Mr. Tushman before because he was the middle school director and I was still in the lower school. But she couldn't stop raving about how nice he'd been on the phone. Mom's always been kind of a bigwig at school. She's on this board of trustees thing, which I don't even know what it is, but apparently it's a big deal. She's always volunteering for stuff too. Like she's always been the class mom for every grade I've been in at Beecher. Always. She does a lot for the school. So the day I was supposed to be a welcome buddy, she dropped me off in front of the middle school. She wanted to take me inside, but I was like, Mom, it's middle school. She took the hint and drove off before I went inside. Charlotte, Cody, and Jack Will were already in the front lobby, and we said hello to each other. Jack and I did our peeps handshake, and we said hello to the security guard. Then we went up to Mr. Tushman's office. It was so weird being in the school when there was no one there. Dude, we could totally skateboard in here and no one would know, I said to Jack, running and gliding on the smooth floor of the hallway after the security guard couldn't see us anymore. Ha, yeah, said Jack. But I noticed that the closer we got to Mr. Tushman's office, the quieter Jack got. In fact, he kind of looked like he was going to blow chunks. As we got near the top of the stairs, he stopped. I don't want to do this, he said. I stopped next to him. Charlotte had already gotten to the top landing. Come on, she said. You're not the boss, I answered. She shook her head and rolled her eyes at me. I laughed and nudged Jack with my elbow. We loved egging Charlotte Cody on. She was always such a goody two-shoes. This is so messed up, said Jack, rubbing his hand over his face. What is? I asked. Do you know who this new kid is? He asked. I shook my head. You know who he is, right? Jack said to Charlotte, looking up at her. Charlotte walked down the stairs toward us. I think so, she said. She made a face like she had just tasted something bad. Jack shook his head and then smacked it 3 times with his palm. Such an idiot for saying yes to this, he said, his teeth clenched. Wait, who is it? I said. I pushed Jack's shoulder so he'd look at me. It's that kid called August, he said to me. You know, the kid with the face? I had no idea who he was talking about. Are you kidding me? Said Jack. You've never seen that kid before? He lives in this neighborhood. He hangs out in the playground sometimes. You have to have seen him. Everyone has. He doesn't live in this neighborhood, answered Charlotte. Yes, he does, Jack answered impatiently. No, Julian doesn't live in this neighborhood, she answered, just as impatiently. What does that have to do with anything? I said. Whatever, Jack interrupted. It doesn't matter. Trust me, dude, you've never seen anything like this before. Please don't be mean, Jack, Charlotte said. It's not nice. I'm not being mean, said Jack. I'm just being truthful. What exactly does he look like? I asked. Jack didn't answer. He just stood there shaking his head. I looked at Charlotte, who frowned. You'll see, she said. Let's just go already, okay? She turned around and went up the stairs and disappeared down the hall to Mr. Tushman's office. Let's just go already, okay? I said to Jack, imitating Charlotte perfectly. I thought this would totally make him laugh, but it didn't. Jack, dude, come on, I said. I pretended to give him a hard slap in the face. This actually did make him laugh a bit, and he threw a slow motion punch back at me. This led to a quick game of spleen, which is where we try to jab each other in the rib cage. Guys, let's go, Charlotte commanded from the top of the stairs. She had come back to get us. Guys, let's go, I whispered to Jack, and this time he did kind of laugh. But as soon as we rounded the corner of the hallway and got to Mr. Tushman's office, we all got pretty serious. When we went inside, Mrs. Garcia told us to wait in Nurse Molly's office, which was a small room to the side of Mr. Tushman's office. We didn't say anything to each other while we waited. We resisted the temptation to make a balloon out of the latex gloves that were in a box by the exam table, though I know it would have made everyone laugh.